following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah, go Cowboys! This is Mick Shots, streaming live on DallasCowboys.com and the official Dallas Cowboys app. Now, here are Bill Jones, Everson Walls, and Mickey Spagnola.
And the cuts are all done. The practice squad has been assembled, and we are assembled here inside the SWBC podcast studio. Bill Jones, Everson Walls, and Mickey Spagnola. The great news for all of us is apparently, at least for today, we made the cut.
We've been threatened by Nate Newton that we are not accurate, relevant, or we have no popularity.
And we dismissed all that quickly.
Right.
That's right. And as I deal with a dead headset right now,
all right.
I'm trying to figure out how do I fix
That's
this
what
thing.
happened when you play hooky.
Or
man.
you just take it off.
No, he played hooky the show before, so yeah.
So here it is. It's Wednesday, the last day of the month of August, and cuts were made yesterday. The waiver claims were done by 11 a.m. this morning, and I will say it was pretty much for the last month. It was much ado about nothing because no players were claimed elsewhere. You can sign your own players here, and basically those 80 guys that were on the roster a week ago, about 75 of them are on an NFL roster right now, and the other 5 will probably eventually be on an NFL roster at some point during this season.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's good news for players.
And
I'll take it.
It's a good thing that we got this now, so no one has to sit around and go, oh, the Cowboys are going to play a wing T offense. They don't need quarterbacks, and they don't need a kicker either. They're going for it on fourth down, and they're always going for 2, right?
Sounds like the Ravens.
Sometimes people just don't read, right, or listen, and get overexcited. How can the Cowboys go on with just one quarterback? Well, they've got 2. Actually, they've got 3. Now the other 2 are on the practice squad: Cooper Rush and Will Greer. And I would imagine, and they can do this for 3 weeks if they want. Or 3 times in 18
Technically
weeks.
6.
However you want to look at how would it be 6, Chris?
Well, you got 2 guys, 3 times each. That's 6.
No, I mean each one.
That's what I'm saying. You bring one guy up a week, you do it for 6 straight weeks.
So what do you want, a backup quarterback or a kicker?
Well, you can do it twice. You can do 2 guys per week, so
Yeah.
the kick comes up.
Right, exactly.
Got it.
I'm going to have to go through that wall here.
Got it.
Should
Come
we
on.
bring people up to speed on what has happened?
Yes.
Bring it on, Chris.
Why don't you
Do you have a list there?
I have a list.
All right.
Where do you want me to start?
Well,
Let's put it this
we
way, and you alluded to it. So the Cowboys, where were they, 24th in line on the waiver claim list?
Yes, same as their draft position.
They claimed nobody.
Right.
And all the guys that they released yesterday, no one claimed any of them. So they had basically their choice to re-sign 16 guys to their practice squad.
17 if you count
and Isaac.
Yeah.
So
Alarcon, the international player,
Yes.
which gives you a 17th player on your
So that
practice
means
squad.
they've got 70 guys that can be out there right now if they were all healthy to practice.
And they are on the practice field right now, by the way.
Is that unusual for no guys to be claimed that we released?
I thought it was.
Yeah.
And remember, the talk beforehand was, well, I don't know if we can get Malik Davis through here. Tyler Coyle, somebody's going to pick him up. And no one even picked up Will Greer, who was eligible to be.
All right, how
claimed.
unusual was it? I've got a list of the waiver claims, and if I have this accurate, 17 teams made waiver claims. So it's about half the league participates and half doesn't.
And the Bears and the Jets had their hands up high.
The Bears added 6 players on waiver claims. Jacksonville added 5. The thing with the Jets, they had 7 players claimed. So either they have done a ridiculously bad job of selecting their 53-man roster, or they have the deepest roster in the league.
Yeah, and the worst record last year. Yeah, okay, so wait.
For a team with the record they had last year.
Well, they really have a surplus going, don't they?
They do.
This offseason, they were working hard.
So
Well, the Vultures were all over that Jets waiver wire.
So do you want me to go
So
through?
that
Yes.
sound weird,
the
though?
moves?
Cowboys get no one claims Cowboy players, but then they claim 7 Jet players? Does that not sound weird at all?
Because this was supposed to be a really deep roster, and it's
Yeah,
going to be hot.
yeah.
That's right.
Right?
That's right. Buffalo had 4 players claimed. I think that was second.
I'm somewhat surprised, but you know what? We talked about it on Monday. Malik Davis. I knew they would not put 4, but every team has.
There
a
are
Malik
there
Davis.
are 16 other teams in the league at least who has a Malik Davis that they cut too, and they're hoping to get to their practice squad.
And some teams cut their maybe third or fourth quarterback that you recognize the name, but they didn't think they were worth putting on a 53-man roster. Okay, let's do this. I'll quickly read the guys that they put on the practice squad. Cooper Rush, Will Greer, Dontari Drummond, Brett Maher, Tyler Coyle, Malik Davis, Wanye Thomas, Malik Jefferson, Micah Tafua.
I like him.
You like him?
Yep.
Malik Jefferson. I said Jefferson, didn't I? Isaac Alacorn, he's the exception. Alec Lindstrom, Aviante Collins, Brendan Smith, Sean McEwen, and Carlos Watkins. They also left Damone Clark on reserve NFI, which means at the least he has to miss 4 games. It's probably 2 months, but he can be activated later. And then by 3 o'clock, it'll be official that they moved Tyron Smith and James Washington to IR recall. Devontae Bond and Ian Bunning were already on injured reserve, so they're out for the year. Season. Right. So
how many is that on the practice squad right now?
That's 14.
14 out of their 17.
So they've got 2 open spots.
3 open spots. We are including the international player, Isaac Alarcon, which gives him 17.
Well, I already eliminated him.
Okay.
It's 15.
So 14. The 14 doesn't include
Alarcon.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Did you mention Brandon Smith?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Yes.
Excellent.
And then when it's official that Tyron and Washington are moved to injury reserve recall, C.J. Goodwin and Jake McQuaid are being signed to the 53.
Okay.
And so that means
There's 2 openings at the end right now on the practice squad.
right. And so one of the things that could happen is if they claim some veteran guy or sign some veteran guy and that didn't have to go through waivers or trade for somebody, and if it's not a player for player, they've got 2 open spots on the practice squad, which if you put them on the 53, then somebody you think can get through waivers, you can put them on the practice
Have
squad.
you added up how many of those practice squad, the 14 on the practice squad are veteran players? Of the 6, how many of their 6 allotments for veteran players have they used?
The way I look at it now, I don't know how they're counting the guys that are in their 4th year, but Cooper Rush and Carlos Watkins for sure.
Yep.
There's 2. So I was mistaken on Brett Maher. I said he wasn't vested, but somehow he was vested towards the pension.
Okay.
So he had an accrued season somewhere in there towards the pension. I don't know. I don't think that counts from Malik Jefferson. So at the most, they've got 3 veteran guys. And without trying to get too confusing here, you're allowed, if you keep 8 offensive linemen active on game day, you're allowed to bring up 2 guys from the practice squad. But you can only do it 3 times in a season.
Okay.
So you can.
So the main reason I'm asking is if there is, let's say there is a veteran offensive lineman out there that was released by another team that they may be interested in bringing in here? How many spots do they have left on their practice squad where they can initially add them to a practice squad or to the 53? And then Goodwin would be one who could be a practice squad guy in the meantime. If you're not having to make a move off their 53, cut a guy in order to bring a guy in.
I see what you're saying, and put somebody on immediately on.
So they've got some flexibility there.
Right. And
that may be account for the 2 extra spots right now as they scan to see who they want to add. It might affect the 53, someone that you might be adding to the 53 as a let's just throw out an offensive lineman because there's a need there, or where you've got some flexibility. And, you get another week before anything has to be finalized on this
And
stuff.
there's always a chance you get somebody hurt.
Right.
That'll end up going on IR or recall, right?
There's guys that we don't even know about who are nursing injuries
Yes.
right now that they might decide.
Maybe all of a sudden Kelvin Joseph starts seeing things, and it's like, oh, the concussion hasn't cleared up yet. We need to put him on for 4 weeks. So, and if once you play a game, you're going to get somebody hurt. That's what they're counting on, right? And then when somebody gets hurt, you just take them and put them on.
And there's a practice squad injured reserve as well.
Yes, there is. If they're already there.
Yeah, and McEwen has been nursing a knee injury.
Right.
And so, and it's the same rules on the practice squad where it's a 4-week deal?
I believe that's correct.
Yeah, you're out for 4?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, Spags, I tune you out sometimes when you talk. I'm sorry.
So if you've covered this.
Fire a question.
My two running backs, Davis and Shampkin. Did I say that?
Shampkin's hurt.
Shampkin's hurt.
Are we going to keep him?
He's on reserve injured.
Okay, and Davis is on the practice squad.
Yes.
That's right.
Okay.
Malik Davis.
Excellent.
Enrico Dowdle made the 53.
Okay.
Anything else?
That's it.
The other thing,
those are the guys.
The other thing that is very interesting about the practice squad, as disappointing as it is for these players to get cut from the 53, when they find out how much money they make being on the practice squad,
they will get no sympathy from Everson Walls.
In fact, the practice squad salaries have gone up to the point where it is now the minimum salary on the practice squad is around $11,000 a week.
$11,500 a week.
A week, which translates over an 18-week season, $207,000 salary. And if you have 2 or more years for those veteran guys, the minimum is $15,000 and up to $19,900. And so the range of salaries on that practice squad are $207,000 to $358,000. And so if you can get that gig, more power to you.
And think about that.
If you're looking at a guy like Thompson, right? He's dropping down, right? He's dropping down his salary as well, correct?
Thompson.
Yes. 29. What's it?
Goodwin.
Sorry.
You're thinking of Darian Thompson.
Yeah, exactly. So,
and it looks like
CJ's on the active roster.
CJ's going to be added to the 53 when Tyron Smith.
He was added. He's out of
practice.
practice.
We have a veteran that's not going to be moved back up.
Let's say Carlos Watkins, who is on the practice squad.
He can make as much money 18 weeks on the practice squad as was the the rookie minimum about 6 years ago, probably.
Coach McCarthy saw me the other night. He said, "Man, you look good." I told him, I said, "I'm coming back to try out again." I was just joking then, but I'm not now.
Yeah, because you weren't on that practice
squad.
squad.
You can do the practice squad.
Yeah, that's all I want.
Because you want your weekends free, right?
Yeah, that's right. What a great gig. It's like all right, Chase Daniel, quarterback with the Los Angeles Chargers. He's now 35 years old. He's played 5 games in his NFL
he's only
career.
35?
He's 30.
I thought he was older.
And he's still
he's been in this league forever holding a clipboard, and we've always thought that's the greatest job in the world.
Right.
You hold a clipboard for 18 years in the NFL or whatever.
Right?
And he signed a contract with guaranteed money and a signing bonus.
But now this is the greatest job.
Yes.
be on the practice squad. You work a 9-to-5 job Monday through Friday. You don't even have to work on weekends. You don't have to go to the games.
How invaluable can Chase Daniels be? Let's just think about this, guys. They've been all these years he's been holding that clip. He must be amazing at whatever the hell he does.
We have smart people that go to the University of Missouri.
He's made.
Is that what? Yeah, they're smart.
But think about it. He's made $38 million in his career holding a clipboard, basically.
He must be amazing, man. I mean, he must see some things out there that just
let's figure this out. So you'd have to practice squad at, if you maxed out at $350,000 a year, that's a lot of years on the practice squad to get up to $38 million.
Well,
but that'd be a pretty good life.
Hey, no, I think he'd take a pay cut if he became a coach. So he just
there's no way. Someone asked me last night, it's great training to be a coach. Why would he ever want to be a coach?
He's made
$38 billion.
Responsibilities have risen.
You got to work hard, and you're responsible for wins and losses. Okay, and before we hit the break, so they are practicing right now. This is their second of 3 practices this week. They will practice again tomorrow. Calvin Joseph was out there, helmet on. They don't have pads on. So we'll see what he ends up doing. Tyler Smith was out there with the helmet on.
Playing what position?
Thinking tackle,
it's
baby.
Tackle for
tackle,
sure.
Baby.
And Stephen Jones said he was given the green light, so whatever they're doing today, he should be able to do. Jerry was out at practice for the opening part of it.
How's his injury situation?
George Edwards was back working with the team. The Cowboys, I guess they call him a
senior defensive assistant,
but he's the linebackers coach. I still didn't see Joe Witt out there. There was no Jordan Lewis and no Michael Gallup out there.
Okay. Jordan Lewis dealing with a hamstring strain,
right.
And of course Michael Gallup from his ACL, and that was the other thing. He's activated from the PUP, so he's on the 53.
Wow. And the reason they did that, and I told you what they were going to do.
Yes.
If you go on PUP or stay on PUP, you got to miss 4 games, and you're not allowed to practice. So now that he's on the 53, when he's ready to practice, he can practice. And if, say, in 2 weeks or 3 weeks, 2 weeks into the season, he's ready to practice, he could have 2 ramp-up weeks till they get to that 4.
Right.
If he was on PUP, he couldn't practice until after the 4 weeks.
And clearly that was the right decision. And you know why it was the right decision?
Why is that?
Because nobody got claimed that they let go. And so, once again,
right.
It was much ado about nothing.
Yeah. And they didn't have to. He didn't have to go through waivers. I mean, he was.
No, but I'm
saying
they could have. Yeah, if they were. They're hoping that he will be available within that 4-week period and can practice in the meantime.
But the wide receiver they would have kept in his place.
And the sacrifice was a player on the roster that they had to cut in order to give him a spot on that 53, and nobody claimed any players, so it was a very prudent move to keep him active.
Nobody wants the Cowboys.
All right, we continue with more Mick Shots in just a moment.
We paid how much for those lessons?
Shh. She's doing great.
Oh, yeah, totally. Can you pass me a Pepsi Zero Sugar? Great job, honey! Oh, look at that. That's not the end.
No way. Now it's time for the encore.
You know what? You're right. 5 times? Not enough times.
For everyone who traded in rock concerts for their kids' recitals, you've compromised enough. Pepsi Zero Sugar. That's what I like.
The Medal of Honor is our country's highest military award for valor in combat. More than 40 million individuals have served in the armed forces since the Civil War. Fewer than 4,000 have received the Medal of Honor. The National Medal of Honor Museum will be a place to preserve these legacies and inspire America. It's being built right next door to the Dallas Cowboys in Texas. Help us honor our country's greatest heroes. Learn more and get involved at mohmuseum.org.
Nobody protects you from mayhem like Allstate. I'm a broken traffic light. Stop and go is the name of my game. It's easy. You go, they go. Or was it, they go, you go? And if you have the wrong car insurance, these repair costs could stop you in your tracks. So get Allstate's new low auto rate and be better protected from mayhem. like me.
Not available in every state based on coverage and limits selected. Subject to terms, conditions, and availability. In most states, prices vary based on how you buy. Allstate Bar and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Star Sports Tours is the only official fan travel partner of the Dallas Cowboys, offering exclusive game weekend travel packages with pre-game sideline access and photo ops with current players, cheerleaders, and Cowboy legends. You want to stay at a team hotel, attend the best tailgate party in Texas, tour the Star, and talk X's and O's with me, Everson Walls? With Star Sports Tours, you can. Visit cowboystravel.com to book your travel package today.
Back to Mick Shots.
And we continue with Mick Shots. You do not have a read.
I do not have a read.
Okay. Would you like to say something to bring us back in then? Like, Mick Shots is brought to you by Mickey Spagnola.
Mickey Spagnola and Everson Walls.
And watch Mickey's fine work on DallasCowboys.com. You can read it as well.
Especially tonight.
Oh, really? So you're actually working today?
Double Mick Shots today.
Oh, really? Okay. What are you working on?
Well,
have you figured that out yet?
I needed to go to practice to see what was going on before I spout off on some opinions.
Okay. There was a trade made just within the last hour or so involving one of the Cowboys' rivals in the NFC East, as the Philadelphia Eagles have traded wide receiver Jalen Reagor to the Minnesota Vikings in exchange for a 7th-round draft pick in 2023 and a conditional 4th-round pick in 2024.
And he was a first-round pick?
He was a first-round pick out of TCU and Waxahachie High School.
See what happens when you change coaching staffs that aren't responsible for the picks? It's like, okay.
They have no loyalty to him at all.
We didn't have anything to do.
That same thing happened in Vegas with with Alex Leatherwood, the offensive lineman, who was a first-round draft pick last year by the Raiders. And he was cut and claimed by the Chicago Bears today.
And they had moved him to guard, hoping that would work.
Right.
And evidently the new coaching staff came in and said, this isn't working, and we're not responsible for that pick. Nor was the GM.
But what it makes you feel good about we'll know once they start playing games and we see how these wide receivers do. But it makes you feel good about what the coaching staff and scouts and front office feel about what the Cowboys do have at wide receiver, where they have not made any moves to get another receiver in here. Not that the Eagles were going to make a trade with them with Jalen Reagor, but
there's a bunch of 30-year-olds sitting out there without jobs.
Yeah, and so we see now going forward, how these guys are going to perform.
And you never know with those veteran guys that are out there. They're going to say tomorrow, it's September 1st. Maybe I need a job.
Yeah.
And if somebody offers me $3 million,
I just might take it.
I might just take that, right? Because
sure
Everson Walls would take $3 million today.
I would take practice player money. we talked about this already.
Even a half a year.
Yes, I would be good with that. I have a guy that just baffles me. You have that player sometimes that's out there, and he comes out from a great school, Alabama, plays a great position, tight end. He had a great senior season at Alabama, goes to Tampa. I don't know what happens. Now the guy's in Buffalo, or he was in Buffalo, and they just cut him, O.J. Howard.
Yeah.
Always one of the biggest mysteries since he came into the league. What do we know about this guy to where he can't catch on with anyone? And for him to just have to just settle for catching on with anyone, this is a top-rated tight end coming out of college.
Yeah.
I think it was 3 or 4 years ago coming out of Alabama. And he's just been kicked around with Tampa, never got a chance to play. I guess I know Gronk comes in, and that's okay. But, I mean, you're going to tell me you can't work your way in
as the second
to work with Brady. So that didn't work out. And what's the other tight end there that was with Gronk? Number 84. I can't remember what his name was.
Cameron Brate.
Brate, yeah.
He comes in, plays well.
Yeah.
He and Brady had a great connection.
Now, it appears O.J. Howard is landing on his feet in Cincinnati.
Oh, nice.
So,
nice.
And Cincinnati has a need for a tight end.
Well, how about this one for a first-round pick? Like an oops. It was no Taco Tuesday yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
The
I
Saints.
heard about that.
So that was the fourth team in 4 years that released him.
I was headed there. And I remember when he signed, when he signed with him, I thought just for sure he was going to at least go in and make the team.
The thing on like O.J. Howard, even though he had his moments at Alabama, I think coming out he was being drafted as a first-round pick more on his potential than what he actually had done at Alabama.
He's a stud.
Right. I mean, I'm looking at his numbers here. He ran a 4.5 at the combine. I mean, great athleticism, 6'6", 251 pounds.
Come on, man. That's just ridiculous.
Why do you still have that in that notebook?
No, this is a new notebook. This is a
and you just transferred it in.
Yes.
I thought he was looking up when he was coming out of the draft. And to go to Leatherwood, if he was a third-round pick, he still may be where he was. But you're a first-round pick.
Right.
You're making first-round money, and you're playing like a fifth-round pick.
He made 17 starts last year for Las Vegas.
I know,
too.
and they
But
tried
were they
moving on the
quality
guard.
starts?
No, if you read about it, they weren't.
Yeah.
But again, you can get away with that if you're a third-round pick. But because this is only his second year, right? That was his rookie year last year, right? And they gave up on him that fast, which tells you the draft experts aren't really experts.
Because when Taco Charlton came out, I mean, that was it. He came from a great school. He looked great. Combine was great. And then he gets here. He doesn't do much. And it seems like everywhere else he goes, he just doesn't do much.
He couldn't keep his feet. You know how defensive ends have to come around that edge and bend? He'd lose his footing all the time. And
he was trying to make moves that weren't conducive to his physical structure. Yeah, he should have done it another way. That's like me trying to go out there and run like Darryl Green. That's just not going to happen. I have to do it my way.
So who would have been the guys you were most glad that they kept on the practice squad? Guys that you thought – he asked about Braylon Smith, Brandon Smith, excuse me.
That was my guy.
And he showed up in that last preseason game. You called his name quite a bit, if I remember correctly.
He also in the first preseason game he had.
Yes.
There was one play of the game. It was a 40-yard pass to Brandon Smith down the sideline. That was it. That was the one play from the game.
And I would pick two guys good to see that got through were Tyler Coyle and Malik Davis.
Okay.
Both of those guys, I think, were really close to making this team. They got into a numbers thing. Some of those other guys, a lot of times when you put your practice squad together, you're looking for guys that can help you on the scout team, and you got to fill so many positions. Now that you got 16, it makes it a lot easier.
I think Malik Davis is a special player. I truly do. I think the way he runs the ball, that's the way a professional running back runs the ball. And
he wasn't a starter the whole year at Florida either.
I mean, Dameon Pierce, who's with the Texans, was out of Florida.
Right?
Yeah. So they had a pretty good tandem there.
Is he their starter now?
You can't beat out Rex Burkhead. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Rex Burkhead. He hung arms. He got a guy cut.
Another guy.
He got a guy cut.
Making
Rex
a lot
Burkhead.
of money
I meant
still.
to bring that up. I'm glad.
And got a Super Bowl ring.
Yes.
And so good luck to him starting.
They cut a real good running back for Burkhead. I'm like, wait a minute, he's still here.
Don't get on Rex Burkhead. Okay. All right. The one guy that I was pleased to see that is on the practice squad is the kicker.
Well, he was going to be on the practice squad.
Well, but
I mean, he
wasn't picked up by another team.
No, he wasn't eligible to be picked up unless they money whipped him.
That's what I mean. They could have if they.
Yeah.
Their teams out there need a kicker.
We'll pay you $3 million.
Carolina signed Eddie Pinero.
I saw that,
and because they lost,
that's the guy.
Their guy
Zerline beat out.
That's right. And
see, that's why I didn't think that he would go through. That he had to go through waivers, but he didn't because he got a year, I guess, towards his pension on the practice squad, which would be another reason you want to be on the practice squad. You could add another year to your pension.
Oh, okay. There you go.
All right.
And I also wanted to point this out. So this, if you count, they're holding the rights to Damone Clark because he's on NFI.
Yeah.
This is the second straight year all their draft picks have made, or at least retained them on the 53-man roster.
This is the first.
NFI.
You said this is the first year.
Second straight year. They did it
year.
last year too.
All right, and help me with my memory on. I could reach down there and get my media guide out, but last year's draft class, how many are still on the roster this year?
I think all but one. I want to say.
Vamp, and I'll look it up.
Well, I was going to look up from last year and see. Well, we could start with Micah Parsons.
Yep.
Kelvin Joseph. Nashawn Wright.
Okay, let me do it in order here. Micah Parsons, Kelvin Joseph. You missed Osa.
I hadn't finished the third round yet.
No, he was the first of the third round.
Well, that doesn't
Osa,
matter.
Chauncey, Nashawn, Jabril, Josh Ball, Simi, Quentin, Israel, Matt Farniok, and so they've kept every single one of them.
Every single one.
Yep. From last year
I thought
and
somebody was missing. Nope. They got everybody?
I just ran through them.
Mm-hmm.
They're all there, right? Michael Parsons, Kelvin Joseph, Osa Odigizua, Chauncey Golston, Nashawn Wright, Jabril Cox, Josh Ball, Simi Fehoko, Quentin Bohanna, Israel Mukwamu, and Matt Farniok.
Yeah. So that's two. Yeah, everybody. And I know somebody did the list and they didn't count Damone Clark, but he counts.
All right. Yeah. He counts. 2020 draft, you still have CeeDee Lamb, Trayvon Diggs, Neville Gallimore, your top three picks. Reggie Robinson, first of your two fourth-round picks, he was here for a year and then he went down to Houston, got cut there. Tyler Biadasz, so there's 4 out of your 5 there. Bradley Anai just got cut by somebody.
He returned a fumble for a touchdown.
And now DiNucci right now is unemployed.
Yeah. So here,
I did see something. I don't remember who tweeted it out, but it might have been Michael Gelkin with the Morning News. This is something that he would tweet out that I found interesting. Of the players who are on that were drafted by that a team has drafted that are still in the league, maybe not with the team that drafted them, but with another team in the league. The Cowboys were right behind the Baltimore Ravens with the most number of players that were originally drafted by them still in the league.
You think at some point somebody will trust the Cowboys draft then?
There you go.
Because every year we go into the draft and it's like, well, I don't know. They don't know what they're doing.
And we always credit the Baltimore Ravens.
Will just sits back and chills.
Yeah.
Going back to Ozzie Newsome,
right.
We always credit what a great draft the Ravens had.
Right.
What a great, and so sure enough, the Ravens, I think there were 108 players or something that they have in the league still that they originally drafted, and the Cowboys are right behind them with 103 or 105, something like that.
And how about this one? Let's see where I wrote it down. If you look at the Cowboys roster right now, and if you include Damone Clark, they have 30 guys that have no more than 2 years of experience in the league. So out of 53, or 54 if I count Clark, 30 of them no more than 2 years in the league.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
That's what I'm saying. We're about ready to find out.
That's not a good thing.
Too many youngsters.
Yeah, that's never a really good thing. You got to have something. When
it'll be a good thing next year when one salary skyrockets and 2 other guys are going to say, "Oh, we don't want to play with only 1 year left on our deal, our rookie deal. We need new deals."
Well, first of all, I don't mind young players, but that's really young. You know what I'm saying? I want to clarify. I like young players. You need young players. It's a young man's game.
No, they need young players to step up and play.
But that's really
I want to
young.
see the breakdown of players that are playing, like starters or near starters.
Or in the rotation.
Right, exactly.
Okay.
So that's your assignment for next
Real
week.
quickly, right?
Yeah. No, you don't have to do it right
Oh,
now.
I thought you were going to go to break, and I had to figure
if you
it
can
out.
do it, if you can do it in the break, great. Otherwise, we'll give you the Labor Day break, and you can come back with that report on Tuesday, or it could be your next column next week,
or today.
Yep. There you go.
Bill wants a cut of whatever you get.
That's right. All right, we continue. Let's talk. What would you like to talk when we come back here? I'm thinking.
Let's talk offensive line.
That's what I was going to say. Left tackle when we come back here on Mick Shots.
Nobody protects you from mayhem like Allstate. I'm a broken traffic light. Stop and go is the name of my game. It's easy. You go, they go. Or was it they go, you go? And if you have the wrong car insurance, these repair costs could stop you in your tracks. So get Allstate's new low auto rate and be better protected from mayhem, like me.
Not available in every state based on coverage and limits selected. Subject to terms, conditions, and availability. In most states, prices vary based on how you buy. Allstate Bar and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
We paid how much for those lessons?
Shh. She's doing great.
Oh, yeah, totally. Can you pass me a Pepsi Zero Sugar? Great job, honey! Oh, look at that. That's not the end.
No way. Now it's time for the encore.
You know what? You're right. 5 times? Not enough times.
For everyone who traded in rock concerts for their kids' recitals, you've compromised enough. Pepsi Zero Sugar. That's what I like.
The Medal of Honor is our country's highest military award for valor in combat. More than 40 million individuals have served in the armed forces since the Civil War. Fewer than 4,000 have received the Medal of Honor. The National Medal of Honor Museum will be a place to preserve these legacies and inspire America. It's being built right next door to the Dallas Cowboys in Texas. Help us honor our country's greatest heroes. Learn more and get involved at mohmuseum.org.
Brace yourself for an existential question. Has your butt been having enough fun lately? Have you been treating it well? Has it been going places? If not, then it's about time you start using SeatGeek. SeatGeek is the best way to get your butt tickets to live events. Just ask the thousands of other butts who have rated it the #1 ticketing app. So what are you waiting for? Download the app now or visit SeatGeek.com to get tickets to sports, concerts, and live events and make your butt happy. SeatGeek. Get your seat in a seat.
Back to Mick Shots.
This portion of Mick Shots is brought to you by Everson Walls.
And blockchain.com.
And blockchain.com. And speaking of blockchain.com, congratulations to Everson Walls, the winner of the Tom Landry Legends Award at the show last Thursday. And I had a chance to watch it on Monday night on the NFL Network. And you were dressed splendidly, and you did a terrific job with your acceptance speech as well.
Thank you very much. I had a chance to present and receive. And we've gone over this before, Bill. You were absent.
That's right.
2 days ago.
Thank you.
Spags and I have already talked about this.
Well, I wanted to send along my congratulations
I appreciate
as well.
that. And I heard the newscast, the telecast of the
yeah,
game.
I fit you
and
in there.
I was over my buddy's house, and we were in there cooking stuff and everything, and everybody's texting me and like, hey, man, they're talking about you on the thing. So, like,
there you go.
I ran it back. And Mike owed me anyway, so he was a little syrupy with his comments, but I loved it anyway because he owes me big time. He knows what I'm talking about.
All right. Well, good. Okay, Mickey, do you have something? You're looking at me like you've got something up your sleeve.
I verified what your homework assignment was.
Yeah.
So 30.
30 out of the 54,
right,
which includes Damone Clark.
No more than 2 years of NFL experience. So they're either in their third year or less. And here's the one spot where you probably don't want this to be, the offensive line. I'm counting 8 guys, 6 of them, no more than 2 years of experience. And so 1, 2, 3, 4 of them are starters. No, 3 of them are starters. Sorry. I'm going to count McGovern as the starting left guard.
Right.
And
Tyler Smith.
I'm counting Tyler Smith as the left tackle. And are you good with that?
And I'll throw another thing in. Rob Phillips tweeted this. 49 of the current 53 players either were drafted or signed as rookie free agents by the Cowboys.
Seriously.
That's right. 49 out of the current 53 either drafted or signed as rookies by the Cowboys.
Which means they don't poach off of other teams or trade or sign veteran free agents.
All right, so now
we should off the top of our head be able to figure out the
four
guys: Anthony Barr, Jake McQuaide, Brian Anger.
That's the guys.
And
there's got Malik Hooker. Is that 4?
Yeah, because Maher's not on the current 53
and
right now. He's a practice squad guy.
They signed him as a rookie free agent.
Okay.
Technically.
Right. Technically, yeah. Who was the last one you said?
Hooker. Malik Hooker,
yeah.
Safety.
And it's also, we're not including, at the time of that tweet, C.J. Goodwin, right?
Yeah.
So unless C.J. Goodwin's one of the 4. No. You just went through.
He played somewhere else before he came here. So he doesn't count.
So this is ever changing. So that was as of 11 a.m. this morning, 49 out of the 53. But C.J. Goodwin is another one. So anyway.
And they unearthed
Cooper
Rush?
I mean, that's how you say it. It's spelled, but not necessarily how you say it.
Yeah,
that's
you
right.
say it.
Yeah.
You unearthed.
Unearthed?
Yeah.
Unearthed.
Yeah.
Oh.
You were like.
All right, enough of that. Let's get to left tackle.
Yeah, what's when you worry about my language?
Left tackle, okay?
Yes.
So what is your main concern at left tackle right now?
Who's the backup? And the fact that
I was concerned who the backup was when Tyron was was healthy.
It was Tyler Smith.
And then we figured that out. Okay.
I mean, I thought it was all along.
Okay.
I thought that, he was
going
to start.
Okay, let me ask you this. If you thought all along, let's say you were coaching this team and you thought all along that Tyler Smith is your backup at left tackle, would you have played him at left tackle in the preseason?
I would have at least played him some snaps in practice because there were times when Tyron Smith didn't take all the first-team reps. And they, put Ball out there to put Leletsko out there. And I don't know if they were doing that because they had to find out what those guys had, assuming they knew what Tyler Smith had. But
once you got a couple of weeks into this,
I would have probably given him some snaps over there. But he still hadn't technically won the starting left guard job.
Right.
But I still think he had.
And I think even more so if he hasn't won the left guard spot.
I think he had.
That he had won it. Okay.
I think so. They don't have to say it, right?
Right. Because you're still motivating.
And if you remember the way Mike McCarthy said it that day, he said, if we were starting today, Connor McGovern's the starting left guard. Tyler Smith wasn't practicing.
He was hurt.
He was hurt.
That's right.
Even when you look at the first game where he had the penalties and things of that nature, he was manhandling the defensive lineman.
See,
I mean, and I don't mean manhandling, but not just that, but he clearly had them under control each time. I thought he played well, aside from the penalties.
And so,
being called.
All right, in the same way, some were critical of Jerry and others saying, okay, Michael Gallup should be on the 53 or not on the 53 because he's not going to be ready to play in a game until October or whatever. All right, and things turned out great that, okay, Michael Gallup was on the 53 and they didn't risk anything as it turned out, okay? in that same vein, once we see Tyler Smith play against Tampa Bay and Cincinnati, first couple of games of the year, and that'll be the test on this. I'm choosing to believe that they feel so confident in Tyler Smith as a left tackle that they just felt like they did not need to have him play any snaps at left tackle in the preseason. He can handle that. He needed to get as many reps as possible at left guard because he's likely going to be our starting left guard. And they weighed into that, okay, if Tyron goes down, he can still kick out and play left tackle and doesn't need the snaps. That's how confident they are in their first-round draft pick that he is the guy to step in. I'm going to choose to believe that until I see otherwise in a game.
Well, I tell you what, I wouldn't take that chance.
Yeah.
Not on a rookie, a guy that, he's backing up Tyron Smith. I don't know. I would have given him a lot more work at tackle. And I guess that's because I knew that's where he would probably end up at the end of his career anyway.
Well, and that's why they drafted him in the first round.
Right.
To play left tackle eventually. It just eventually came a lot
sooner. They knew
sooner.
McGovern had the experience. So, having him at guard, to me, I'd looked at that as, I don't know, I think that's wasted reps.
Well, you know what?
I think it's wasted reps.
Here was the other kicker that kind of tipped their hand in that last preseason game. If before Tyron had gotten hurt, right? If they thought that Connor McGovern was the starting left guard, why in the heck did they start him at center?
Mm-hmm.
They started him at center because they knew they needed a backup center, backup guard for game day because Tyler Smith was going to be the starting left guard.
So what about Biotis? Why would they?
No, backup center.
Okay.
Backup center.
Okay.
And that's why he
in
started.
case Biotis got hurt.
Yeah.
Coming out for warm-ups.
And
because he didn't
because the only other
dress
guy
up for the last game.
The
right?
only other guy inside would have been Forniak. And
Forniak has played center,
and has played guard. Right? Yeah.
So we have too many options.
Well,
that's the problem.
I don't know.
We have a lot of options.
All I see is 6 offensive linemen here. They're going to pick up a veteran guy at some point.
You truly think that?
Yeah.
And by the way,
to be the swing backup.
Okay.
By the way, there were some reports out there that, whether they're true or not, I don't know, but that the Cowboys and Jets had talked about their former third-round draft pick, Chuma Edoga. He was claimed on waivers by Atlanta. So he was cut by the Jets.
So if the Cowboys wanted him, they had to make a trade for him.
Right.
Right? And you give up a conditional 7th, and they didn't do it.
Mm-hmm.
So give me someone who's out there that can come in and be a swing tackle for us right now. I mean, a veteran. Obviously, we're talking about veteran, and most of the time that veteran's probably just retired or just got cut this year or just maybe retired over the last this last off season.
Well, the guy that retired was
Eric Fisher.
No.
Well, he's not retired. He's on the street.
The 40-year-old guy that was with the Rams.
Whitworth. Andrew Whitworth.
But the Rams,
future Hall of Famer.
But I guarantee you, and I think I said this on Monday, I guarantee you the Rams have him on reserve retired. So you would have to give the Rams something to get him off reserve.
And that's the
retired.
only person you can think of at this point.
Eric Fisher, who I don't think
where was he?
He's nowhere right now.
Where was he?
Indianapolis.
Okay.
Former number 1 overall draft pick of the Kansas City Chiefs about 10 years ago.
And he tore his Achilles, remember, in the AFC Championship game. Then he couldn't play in the title game, and their offensive line paid for it.
Gotcha.
And my understanding, he wants, lots of money. Like, he was paid, I think, last year $8 million, something
right,
close
he was.
to that. So...
Well,
and there's some other guys.
How is he in position to?
Yeah, right. Well, to me, it sounds like he might not really want to play.
Yeah.
And then there's some other guy I forgot. Marcus Cannon's name came up that New England wanted to get rid of him. Well, they didn't cut him. He didn't have to go through waivers. So there's a lot of guys out there that you're saying, okay, the only thing they got over maybe my guys is they've been in the league. They have experience.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, according to Aaron Wilson, the Cowboys are planning to sign running back Quadri Allison to the practice squad as the former Falcons 5th-round draft pick reunites with former coach Dan Quinn, per a league source.
Okay. Well, they got a spot.
Is he any good?
So I didn't get through.
I didn't hear it.
If he's,
I don't know.
If he's going to the practice squad.
Yeah, I mean, why? You know, why?
Well, Malik Davis went to the practice squad, and we've determined that he's good.
Yeah, but we have Malik Davis.
But you need more.
So we don't need this guy because we have
That's
Malik
what's
Davis.
You need more than one running back on the practice squad.
And number 32 is hurt, you said.
Champlin.
Champlin.
Yeah. Harvard guy is hurt.
So I started going through the cuts, and I saw offensive tackle Luke.
Yep.
Houston. And then there was another guy. I think,
and he got picked up by Indianapolis.
Okay. And Tanner Owen got picked up by
New Orleans. Yep. So those were 2 tackles that were claimed on waivers.
Yeah. So that kind of tells you.
There aren't very many tackles out there.
You can tell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
because Tampa needs one.
There aren't very many
tackles.
tackles.
There's not enough to support the
Doesn't
USFL.
Tampa need one as well? They're coming in with their offensive line depleted, correct?
Yes. Yeah, they got their own problems.
Right.
So let's see whose problems are worse.
Yeah.
We're going to find out a week from
receiver
Sunday
problems
night.
And offensive line problems, both of us.
Yeah, but the Cowboys don't have a 46-year-old quarterback playing back there, or however old he is.
I know, right?
How old is he now?
42?
He's 45.
Was I right?
45?
Yeah, I don't know what
He's
it is.
45?
Yes, he's 45. Where have you been the last 3 years?
Why'd you quit so soon?
Hey, I quit because I needed to quit. He didn't need to quit.
He quit for a month.
Yeah, nobody knows why.
Mm-hmm.
What, you're not believing the Masked Singer theory?
He turned 45 August 3rd. So he just
45.
turned 45.
You
And we speak
never
of
be able to
Tom
leave
Brady.
training camp for whatever. Okay.
Well, you should also never be in training camp as a player at age 45.
That's true.
So we're going to make different rules.
Do you think Tom will let you go for
that's
2
the thing.
weeks?
I don't want to hear different rules.
Hey, he's 45 years old. There's
there
a lot
many
of
times when I thought I should have had different rules because of how I played. But no. Coach
Did you
Landry
have-
said, hell no.
All right, Tom Brady
Heck no.
at his press conference after the game the other night said he's 45 years old. There's a lot of it going on.
A lot of S going on.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, well, then
so
don't
look
play
back
ball.
in your life.
Don't play ball.
Look back in
If you
your
got a lot
life.
of
Did you
stuff
have
going on-
more stuff going on at 45 or 25?
Well, whatever I had going on between those 2 times, if I was playing football, then that's all I had going on.
Okay.
Period.
Yeah.
That's my thing.
No-
if I'm signed to
No
I'm signed to a
excused
contract,
absences?
All right, think about
excused
what you had going
Listen,
on.
You got to remember what I came up with. I played for 3 teams: Cowboys, Giants, Browns. Do you see any leniency in any of those organizations?
Or
No.
those 3 coaches?
Yes, or those 3 coaches. Let's just be real. So,
Or
yeah,
4
that's what I
yeah,
was wondering. Yeah, let's not count him. Yeah, so go ahead.
We'll count Saban in there too.
All right, we'll put Saban.
Yeah.
No love. No love.
Although that brings up the story. Jason Garrett was his quarterback coach at Miami, and who was going in at that? I think it was Troy Aikman was going into the Pro Football Hall of Fame on a weekend, and they had practice, the Dolphins, on Saturday, and Garrett felt like, I really need to go do this. I need to go, but I got to go ask Coach Saban if I. He said, so I finally got up the nerve to go ask Coach Saban if I can leave and just miss one practice. I'll come right back on Sunday. Saban looked at him and he goes, so Garrett, you think we can't get through practice without you?
That's
killed him.
That
He
is
just
him.
killed him.
That is him. That is him. Like, you're really not that important, guy.
Yeah, right.
You think we can't get through one practice without you?
That's a good one.
and Garrett said, I just got to walk out with my tail between my legs. Okay, I'll be back Sunday.
Oh, man. On Monday. Hey.
Monday.
All right, we got 1 minute left. The 1 minute warning goes to both benches.
No.
Who's Missouri playing this week?
Louisiana Tech.
Win or loss?
Oh, gosh. It's at home. It's at home.
Who's Grambling got?
I have no idea.
And they're playing, it's Sonny Cumbie's coaching.
That's right. Debut.
Well, full-time head coach debut. Because didn't he take over at TCU before he took over?
He was at Tech.
He was at Tech.
Yeah.
Didn't he take over there?
He coached Tech
Yeah.
in the interim.
Right.
Yeah,
That's what I
right.
meant. It wasn't
That's
TCU.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I had half of it. So it's his. They don't have any tape on what he's got at Louisiana Tech.
That's right. All right, very good. Well, good luck.
Sneak attack.
And the Sooners open with a blowout win over UTEP on Saturday.
Yeah, I can't believe that's what you guys have coming up. I thought you were going to start off strong.
And didn't somebody just wipe them out? This
North Texas
weekend?
beat them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's tough.
Okay.
But the quarterback is only almost 30.
Yeah, with Austin Ani at quarterback.
Oh, yeah.
He turns 29 this week.
From Argyle.
Argyle, and he was a second-round draft pick of the New York Yankees. So he's their
Arkansas Pine
So he's
Bluff.
their Brandon.
Arkansas Pine. Oh, you better watch out.
Bluff in Arkansas. We don't have a home game until October.
Really? You renovating the stadium?
Yeah, you know.
Yeah,
we got
Everson.
That kind of money.
Yeah.
We got that kind of
They're
money.
growing grass.
Yeah.
All right.
The grass seeds didn't bloom.
We've got a Mike McCarthy press conference straight ahead here on DallasCowboys.com. Enjoy your Labor Day weekend. We reconvene at noon Tuesday, right? Or maybe
noon.
You got a Friday show. Unless you guys don't
Oh,
want
we got a
it.
Friday?
It's cool if you don't want it.
It's only Wednesday.
Oh, yeah,
Friday
that's
at 2.
right.
Come on.
That's right.
He was trying to get
That's
out
why
of another show.
Trying to get out another show.
We are not.
I thought we were just doing Monday and Wednesday.
That's why he's
this
taking
week.
up for Tom Brady. That's how he's.
He had
future plans. Forget my college football talk then. All right. We'll see you again Friday at 2 o'clock. Happy hour.
All right. Go Cowboys.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys?